Nintendo's E3 2018 press conference is just around the corner, and because of that, excitement and anticipation for Super Smash Bros. Switch has never been higher. Everyone wants to see exactly what it's going to be. There's rumors and supposed leaks and tons of prediction videos, and everyone's just trying to figure out what this thing might be, even though we have no idea. So I figured I would talk about it too. This is my first gaming video on this channel, so if this is your first time seeing any of my content, welcome. As somebody who mainly plays Smash casually, but also has dipped his toes into the competitive scene, I feel I have a decent idea of what could and couldn't be, or should and shouldn't be, in the new Smash. So this 2-video series will be me talking about what I would like to see in the new Smash and what I think might happen. And in this first part, I would like to go through the previous iterations of Smash and talk about what I would like to see return and some things that I think should get left behind. As a kid, I loved Smash 64. It's probably one of my most played games on the 64 besides Mario Kart. Going back and playing it now, it definitely feels limited to its time, mainly in just the number of characters and stages and game modes compared to what we have now, but it's still a very important, very fun game. Something that's fairly unique about Smash 64 is the vibe that it gives off in terms of how we're perceiving the characters. The opening cinematic shows them more as toys, and that's probably partially because of the graphics at the time as well, but I do think it gives a very pleasant, nice aesthetic. It's definitely interesting to see the characters like this instead of like the usual, which is more like trophies come to life, and trophies have become so important to the feel of Smash overall that I think they're going to keep going in that direction. Going back and playing it, the gameplay is definitely more limited than its later iterations. Throws are absolutely crazy, but one good thing about it is that with the sound effects, all of the hits have a really nice thwack, but still nothing that I would want to see come back for the new Smash. When it comes to stages coming back from Smash 64, most of the cool ones have already come back and stayed relevant in the game. I would really like to see the old school Sector Z Corneria type map come back because I love the size of it, and I think that it feels way better than Orbital Gate Assault, which just has too much going on unless it's in Omega. Planet Zebes is another cool map I would like to see come back. It's been basically replaced by Brinstar at this point, but again, I like the size of this one and the kind of crazier map design. Mushroom Kingdom could be a really fun one to come back, especially with the pipe mechanic of players traveling around the map. I feel like that could feel really cool as an 8-player Smash map. Finally, for Smash 64, looking at the modes this game has, as I said, it's very limited. There's only time and stock in Versus mode. Classic is fine, but it can get a little tedious trying to go back and play it with every character since it's the same thing every time. The main thing I want to see from Smash 64 come back in terms of modes is break the targets, board the platforms, and race to the finish. I would love to see all of those come back, all custom to each fighter playing through them. Now, I might lose whatever new viewers that I could possibly get from this video by saying this, but Melee is probably the Smash that I've played the least and have the least attachment to. I'm definitely not as crazy about it as everyone else is, and yeah, that's also partially because I'm not that good at it, but still. The vibe is also the weakest to me going back and comparing it to the other Smash Bros. It's got this weird computery digital line kind of feel that just doesn't really work for me, and I don't feel it embodies Smash at this point. The gameplay is obviously much better than Smash 64, but at the same time it's much more brutal. Combos can be absolutely insane, and the heaviness can feel weird at sometimes. Like I said, I'm not that good at the game, give me a break. Looking at characters, the only one I don't want to see come back is Pichu, because I mean, you know. And while I don't technically want Young Link to come back, I would love for him to be an alternate costume for Toon Link. There's a couple stages from Melee that I would like to see back. I think Peach's Castle could come back if it was made bigger, and I think that could be pretty cool. Yoshi's Story would be another fun one. Brinstar Depths, or if not Brinstar Depths, I would like to see the stage turning mechanic more, because I think that's really cool. And I wouldn't mind a complete joke of a map as well, like Pokefloats. The best part about Melee to me is that it introduced so many modes that are now iconic to Smash Bros. The modes I don't care about seeing again in this exact style. The campaign is basically the same as Smash 64, so it's fine, but I like the later versions of the campaign. And Snag the Trophies is a really lame minigame. But Tournament is a ton of fun in this. Adventure mode is cool, but it's a little bit long, and I think Subspace really developed on the concept, but I think there could be a new mode that meets in the middle, and I'll talk about that in my next video. The event fights are great, Home Run is really cool, Multi-Man is a lot of fun. All-Star Mode, Special Smash, all of those are great, and I would like to see those come back. Brawl was the first Smash I really got invested in. It was the first game I ever pre-ordered. I was always checking Smash Dojo to see what characters were coming out. It was a massive, massive game to me. That's definitely second, or maybe even first in the number of hours I put into it. It's dark and slick, but it still is lighthearted and joyful. As a kid, I absolutely loved it. All the modes overall have a really great feel. The gameplay is probably the weakest depending on how you feel about dealing with old controls like Smash 64. It's definitely not tight, it's too floaty, and random tripping is absolutely idiotic. In terms of returning characters, I would love to see Wolf and Ice Climbers back, and I think it's a pretty safe bet that they do. And if they can get Snake back, I would totally be down for it. If not, I would just like to see another interesting gunner projectile character, but I think Snake was a really fun fit. I'm totally fine with them keeping transformations out. I know it was originally because of the 3DS's hardware limitations, but I think it's better to fully flesh out those transformation characters. With the introduction of Final Smashes, I like them all. The only one that I might change back to what it is in Brawl is Lucario's Aura Storm. I think I like that more in this than in Smash 4. The only stage that I would like to see come back from Brawl that hasn't yet is Frigate Orpheon. When this was the latest iteration of Smash, it introduced some really great game modes. The obvious crowning achievement in this game is Subspace Emissary. I would love to see this type of crossover story again. However, I think at this point there's too many characters to make it cohesive. Like I said, I want to combine the feels of this and adventure mode, and I'll talk about that in the next video. The boss battle boss rush type mode would be great, especially if we do get another big story mode. This was the introduction of online play, and I mean, it's better now, but especially back then it was not that good. I would in general definitely like to see online gameplay expanded to how full it feels in person. The only other game I would like to bring back is the Coin Launcher Trophy game. I think that is probably the best, most fun way to do that. While Smash 3DS has basically been completely overshadowed for me by Smash Wii U, which is my favorite one, going back, this one actually feels really great to play and does have a lot of cool stuff. Its aesthetic is fairly unique with the sketchy look that is cool, but not something that I really want to see moving forward. But it does bring back some of that childlike tone that was in Smash 64, which is cool. The feel of the gameplay, as with the Wii U, is my favorite, and I think it's a lot of fun, it's tight, and it's exactly how I want this game to feel. Characters, again, in both the 3DS and Wii U versions, I want to see them all come back. I really hope there's not any cuts. If there are, Lucina and Dark Pit are probably the most viable to leave the roster. I would rather see them make them a little more unique instead of completely cutting them. As for stages from 3DS, there's actually a lot that I would like to see come back. Rainbow Road, Paper Mario, Gerudo Valley, Spirit Train, Dreamland, the retro version, Prism Tower, Reset Bomb Factory, Living Room, and Pac Maze are all maps that I think would be really fun to see again. Mainly Rainbow Road, Spirit Train, and Pac Maze. Going back and playing the different modes of the 3DS, I was surprised to find that this classic mode is probably my favorite. I think its length is near perfect. I like the branching choices much more than that kind of slide around free choice thing of the Wii U. The only thing that's missing from it are the special modes like Break the Targets. So I think looking at the campaign for Smash Switch, I would be happiest to see something like this come to it. Smash Run is also a lot of fun, though I do think it is held back by not interacting with the other players. And this is a game mode I would like to see come back, but I have ideas of how to change it for the new Smash that I think would improve it greatly. Like I said, Smash for the Wii U is, in my opinion, the pinnacle of Smash Bros. I know there's mixed feelings about this game, especially in the competitive sense, but I could play it forever. I absolutely love the feel of it. The design is super cool, it's very shiny and sleek. There's really sharp designs, and I feel they really nailed the essence of every character. Like, look at King Dedede. That's King Dedede right there. Now look at this King Dedede. Something's wrong with him. I haven't talked about items for any of the previous Smash games, but that's because I think all of the items in this are good, and I'm excited to see the new ones that join them. For stages, I'd be happy to see most of them come back, but there are a few that I want to get rid of. I don't think the Jungle Hijinks dual plane gameplay worked out as well as they wanted it to, and especially with Smash being on the Switch, I think it's time to get rid of this. Skyloft is cool, but I think this type of map should be updated for Breath of the Wild. As I said earlier, I would like them to get rid of Orbital Gate Assault and replace it with Sector Z or Corneria. A Mario Maker map could be cool, but I would like a little more intensity in the randomness of the map design. And finally, my most important ones. No Wrecking Crew, no Pac-Land, and no 75M. Nearly all the modes in this are a lot of fun. The only thing I would change moving forward is using the 3DS's classic campaign style. All the vault stuff is really fun. I think 8-player can be a lot of fun, and I would like to see them keep that as well, as long as the Switch can handle it. The weakest game mode is obviously Smash Tour. I do like the idea of them having a kind of board game feel to one of the games, so I would like to see them improve it in some way, but at the same time I would be fine with it not continuing. And that is everything I would like to see come over from the old Smash Bros. Into the new Smash. I want to say that if they do choose to create a completely new type of Smash in terms of the feel of the different modes or how some of the characters work, I'll be totally on board for that because I trust them to make a fun game. But I really do hope that they pull from this strong foundation that they've built over the years. To wrap up this video, as I said, I would like to bring all the characters back, but some of them do need updates. There's been new iterations of games or just more time to work on certain characters that I think there should be some changes coming into Smash Switch. For Mario, I would love to see them add Cappy. I think Cappy could replace Mario's side B. He could throw it out there and hold it, it could hurt people, and then he could also jump off of it, so it could be an interesting recovery mechanic as well. Or maybe if he perfectly throws it at head level, it could stun the opponent. Or maybe it could just be his new side smash. Either way, I would love to see Cappy involved. For Link, we've clearly seen that he has a new Breath of the Wild design, and I think the best way to move forward with Link is to keep his core moveset, but sometimes add a new skin to moves, and maybe add a couple new mechanics to him as well, to incorporate the runes and other things from Breath of the Wild. For example, his bomb could be the new bomb from Breath of the Wild, his grab could maybe be more like Magnesis, maybe his arrow could be changed or varied in some way to match the hero's bow, and maybe they could even incorporate stasis and it could work similar to Bayonetta's counter. I would also like to see Zelda revamped for her new Breath of the Wild style. Maybe most of her moves could stay the same, but at least visually I would like to see her change. Ganondorf is the character who I most want to have a complete overhaul. I think it's time for him to stop being a Captain Falcon clone and get his own moveset based off of his really cool attacks in the Zelda games. I would also like to see a new character design based on the Breath of the Wild style. Samus's moves are fine, but I would like to see her design go back to more of the older Prime Samus instead of the overly sleek Other M type of style. Bring back Fat Pikachu. And Dark Pit and Lucina, I just want them to have a little bit more of a unique moveset. And that does it for my look back at the old iterations of Smash. Let me know what you think, and if you're interested, please watch the second part of this series where I'll talk about new characters, new stages, new game modes, and things like that. Thank you for watching.